afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, your lord and master, your king of kings, your vox populi. Off here to a 1v1 on Langraskaya in the north. It is VonAsten himself, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Götz von Berlichingen. In the south, it is Ashablois, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, taking on the role of the second armored division with recon support, mechanized, and rifle company with grenade ambulance and infantry versus the Osttruppen doctrine of VonAsten with, well, Osttruppen, entrenching tools, artillery field officers, supply drops, and railway artillery support. We got double Osttruppen side here, probably triple Osttruppen for VonAsten. Quick lamp to grab up on the field there swiftly without having to build the infantry company. Usually one of the things that constrains most Wehrmacht players, and so if they can skip with it or go for 5-man grenades, that's typically what they'll actually do increasingly. Arriving there for Ashablois, quick wiring off here at the Western munitions. Rob Scorpion with Western Point there, ready to face any crowds head on. And as always, a big hearty thanks to the Propaganda Ministry's patrons, supporters, these titans of and heroes of the Propagandacast, allowing me to supporting me by and allowing me to do what I do on a monthly basis. A big thanks to them. Without those, I would not be able to, I think, do this as much as I would have. So thanks to them. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon and just donate. Links in the video description. You can always just comment, like, share, and subscribe. All that, to keep the YouTube algorithms, thinking stuff's going on, and so direct more views towards me. Anyways, awesome as Rob scored here. First fight at the 1 minute 40 mark there. Pathfinders out of Ashablois up close. With the MU-42, though, the Osttruppen would win, but without the MU-42, the Riflemen would have won that engagement. West side, we've got the Osttruppen's re-echelons here. Shots being fired there as well. Got the Pathfinders out there, specifically INR, which stands for Intelligence and Reconnaissance. Bit of skirmishing there. Osttruppen about here. Osttruppen forces the train to line for the Pathfinders. The Pathfinders should be able to deal with the Osttruppen, because it's already low in health. The Pathfinders should be able to easily make short work of that. We've got Riflemen still Osttruppen here. Slight bog down here. East side is now claimed here for VonAsten and the German army, the 17th SS. A Panzer Grenadier Division raised alongside the 16th and 18th Panzer Grenadier Divisions, SS that is. I think around 1944. Most of them actually never really sort of managed to show full competency, as in most cases they barely had any training before they're thrown into the fighting. We got Osttruppen versus Rifle Squad here. We got sandbags up with the Eastern Victory Point there, charting forwards here. West side here, we got the Osttruppen versus the Rifle Squad there. Pioneers versus Rifle Squad. Osttruppen got the Coh2 as well there. Charting forwards in. Pioneers being shot to bits. We got the Rifle Squad routed here. Tech almost done for VonAsten. Bit of skirmishing there. Pathfinders moving westwards. We got recon support here, obviously, with the raid tactics on our Pathfinders, airdrop combat groups, the M8 Greyhound, and M83 cluster bombs here for Ashablois. Graham Eastern Point. Vibes coming here with the Osttruppen there. Back here, Pioneers moving in, reinforcing. And we got the reinforced the Pathfinders to suppress them swiftly and viciously. Osttruppen with 3 echelons there. I like to make an company going steadily out. Charging forwards, getting some damage in. We got the captain setting out for Ashablois, should add a DAR there, mounting pretty swiftly to further increase firepower. So is the Osttruppen, that's going to be great here. VonAsten is taking up. There we go. Got like to make noise going for a fast 2-2. He would also benefit, I think, for some Panzer Grenadier here. Typically, with an Osttruppen build, you do want some Panzer Grenadiers out to help, keep the fight flowing there. Since obviously, the problem with Osttruppen is they tend not to scale well as the match goes on there. Plus, they are terrible at counter reasons. Defeating the Osttruppen, and again just highlighting their grounding cover. They can be quite good to a certain point, but outside the cover they're pretty weak, so there's definite limitations to an Osttruppen heavy strategy, and that's definitely why you typically want Panzer, at least an officer to boost your Osttruppen. Armored car out there for VonAsten being shredded here with lead going straight to the back of the retreat. Could see a wipe here, maybe avenging the fallen Osttruppen. I doubt that's one of VonAsten's priorities. Still, good pressure by VonAsten on Ashablois. Cap moving up here, flanking up VonAsten's centre positions. Armour car rushing in to plug that gap. West side Osttruppen falling back. So right now VonAsten's infantry is pretty much all on the run. Leaving on the Pioneers and the armoured car. We do get Panzer here for VonAsten. Thumbs up. The Panzer Grenadier. A long term, we'll definitely want to get 2 squads of them out, I think. Armoured car, they're dealing with the cap now. Close now to tank weapons here from Ashablois. Makes it hard to deal with the armoured car there. Heavy damage being inflicted with the Coh2 machine gun and the autocannon. Anti-tank and they're also on the way here for Ashablois now to deal with the armored car, plus any armor VonAsten may of course be planning. Punts are going to be hit down for VonAsten. Definitely I think we want to go for at least one more, or at least an officer to have a get out some more elements that help fight against the Americans, in particular on the move, in closer quarters. Also reinforcing, could also consider dispatching some forces to sneak up and hit the western field point while Ash is occupied in the center east. That could be, I think, a sneaky maneuver there. So Ashablois, of course, trying to keep VonAsten off kilter and getting as many wipes from the Osttruppen, of course, is a great move. Anti-tank and ready. Of course, the Captain pack house is an option, so anti-aircraft tactics here versus VonAsten. Panzers there pushing forward back to the Pioneers, pushing back the Rifle Squad. So we'll have to see if we got definitely the company command post up. And setting them out like Langraskaya, a well-positioned pack house could be a problem here for VonAsten, due to the way that artillery is kind of good on Langraskaya. In fact, it used to be even better on the older version, where there wasn't a gap here. You could just park artillery here and just cover most of that. It was a real pain in the arse. It was even worse in Germany as wrong with the Brits, where they just played pop-up mortar emplacements there with a truck. Ugh. Bad memories. And it's got the Panzers, the Captain now close, but there you go, get a quick kill there. Not great there for the Panzer Media. They're getting some damage in, but they will retreat now. Way too low on health here. Looks like VonAsten trying to do too much. Oh dear, they're going to get wiped. Yup. Huge blow to VonAsten. 300 manpower squad. They're gone. I would say that was a very avoidable loss there. Either underestimated Ashablois, they overestimated the Panzer Grenadier in that particular situation, was the Captain with a BAR already while rushing at them. Not great there for VonAsten. It's going to be quite costly. He's going for the Pack 40, of course, expecting the anti-aircraft chaff attack here from Ashablois. Very sensibly, but down to just 2 Osttruppen squads again is pretty risky there for VonAsten and could have some uncomfortable consequences as the match goes on. Moving westward there for the fuel, very good. Sandbags down. Looking to disrupt the fuel flow, further put to advantage of VonAsten, of course. Get out some fast medium armor, which is typically what you want to do with the Wehrmacht anyways. It is, shall we say, the Wehrmacht's real strength, not its tier 4, actually it's the fact you can get out of tier 3 increasingly quite fast compared to other factions. So if you like rush it out, you're typically in a nice position as the Wehrmacht, though you obviously still want, you know, some proper infantry as the match goes on. And Panzer Grenadiers, Stormtroopers usually will be that, you know, element in there. I mean, officers can sort of slightly carry it as well, but that's only one guy. You know, you need more than one squad of those chaps. You got Osttruppen. Ground western field point there, so VonAsten is really getting a field advantage of Ashablois. So thumbs up to that. Medic banker on the way there. M15E1 there, running about for Ashablois. You got 494 versus 402. So far, VonAsten also has a nice victory point of Ashablois. Very strong starting for VonAsten again, due to the way you can use the Osttruppen to the Wehrmacht much more aggressively than you normally could. So good work there. Which again is why a lot of people also go for Osttruppen. It just allows you to play the Wehrmacht more aggressively, which overall just fits the faction better, quite honestly. So that's one of the reasons why people go for it, because it's just how the Wehrmacht in reality is balanced and designed. You know, despite what Relic says, the reality is the Wehrmacht is not designed or balanced like a late game faction. It's designed and balanced to a degree, at least as an early game faction. But again, some has some really weird elements that means it doesn't work like that. For example, your Grenadiers hit later than other units and they're 4-man, but again, if you look at the other design elements, it's kind of what you actually the entire thing points towards. So it's a bit schizophrenic, really. Ambulance on the way there for Ashablois. Sandbags here with decent victory point, very good. Hope for the armored cut on the move. Grab the eastern point here. Grab the eastern point. Oh, Panzerfaust there, nice work. Ambulance almost done, nothing in the centre. We got East Garage coming up to assist here the retreat of the anti-aircraft half tech, as VonAsten's also going to likely snuff it out. Worth noting, multiple beacons along the western road behind the hedges, probably to give you an idea what VonAsten is doing there by movement. Thumbs up to Ashablois. Replacement Panzer going to be there for VonAsten as well. Thumbs up to that. It could actually already now begin taking up and, you know, start pushing for, say, a fast Flak Panzer versus a fast Panzer 4. I imagine this also going to be his plan after he gets up that Panzer going to discord, get the tech going, and again with the current fuel income, I mean, he should not be like far off from anything after that. And again, a fast Osttruppen, for example, I think is reasonably feasible here versus Ashablois. So his second Panzer squad out there. Hopefully VonAsten keeps on a bit better alive. Also worth noting for VonAsten, he really should lay down some mines. Typically with Osttruppen doctrines, you also end up floating a lot of munitions, so getting down some mines with all that spare munition can be a really good idea. S-mines and decent fuel. Telemines here and there could also be a great idea. Another machine here for VonAsten. Not fast tech. Guess we prioritize that one more. Oh, nice call in there. Obliterates the machine gun and destroys the machine gun. Yikes. I mean, it's just good thing then he went for the MG42 because he's going to need a replacement. Certainly highlights the power of the unarmed Pathfinder squad. Like, again, they have these incredibly fast artillery strikes, which if you do not retreat immediately, whatever you've just like had there is gone. As you can see there, like, it was like maybe 2 seconds to like react and then it was gone. Really powerful artillery strike. Destroyed the beacon there. And it's all for basically 140 munitions. Picks up the armored car. Kept advancing on the center. Back here in VonAsten space. Still no tech. Have to go against the Panzer in the west. We got 477 to 402. And we go tech for VonAsten, and we got the air-drop combat group for Ashablois. Paratroops and of course a pack howitzer. Great, and the armored car there with the anti-tank gun. Closing in that 21. Osttruppen inside the building here. Pushing the center victory point, where Ashablois trying to claim it there for America, freedom and democracy. Liberty. Camp never the Osttruppen. The Osttruppen moving ahead. Panzer gun escort setting up once more here for VonAsten. Half-timing up there. Pathfinder suppressed. Panzer pushing back the Rav squad. Tech almost done there for VonAsten. He can then build his Pommerkorps, and again, he can go for a Panzer IV, he can go for an Ostwind, he can go for a bunch of Stooks. Like, here's a lot of options there. He just needs to like exploit them properly, and I think just begin hammering out a lot of medium tanks for that Ashablois here. Like I say, he were to like rush out 2 Ostwinds right now, I'm fairly certain he could just win the game for example on the spot right now versus Ashablois. Like 2 Ostwinds might just be GG because again the fuel harassment ensures that Ashablois can't push out medium armor in a reasonable response time. And 2 Ostwinds is going to be difficult for just one anti-tank attack to deal with. Even like infantry support. In fact, the 2 Ostwinds can effectively just at times melt infantry squads if Ashablois is unlucky. So I think, while it obviously is a bit risky in some ways and certainly requires a rather aggressive mindset, but like double Ostwind right now, at least from my perspective, could be a winning move. Though again, most players are never going to go for double Ostwind because again, typically they're not in a situation like VonAsten is right now. But if you somehow are aware you're in a situation like now as VonAsten are, go double Ostwind. Anyway, so Pommerkorps still need to fix up the armored car. Ashablois will take advantage of the gaps in VonAsten's line to push ahead. Thumbs up. Paratroops are waiting for the Browning light machine guns to deal further damage to the Osttruppen and the Panzer of course. VonAsten certainly struggling a bit here. There goes the Pommerkorps. He's going to go for that Panzer IV. I mean, it is the safe choice, obviously, and there's nothing wrong in that. But again, my recommendation would be like, you know, fast Ostwind, and then again, maybe another fast or another Ostwind, depending on the situation, like how it actually looks like. But there you go. Ashablois finally taking up. Finally taking up. So in this regard, double Ostwind here, probably not the safe choice after all. But, you know, again, at least a fast Ostwind I think would be quite effective. Much greater shock effect versus Ashablois forces. Then follow up, say, some Stooks, maybe not Ostwind. 2 Stooks to Ostwind also I think are quite solid strike force there tactically. Obviously requires a bit more management skills in some ways, but on the other hand, you just have a lot more firepower to deal with certain targets and just quickly get some wipes in, which is sort of, shall I say, tactics I prefer. East with the armored car with Osttruppen support, no Panzer going to deal it. So VonAsten's now losing the most of the map here to Ashablois. But again, we'll have the Panzer out soon, which should help swing the game back in VonAsten's favour. And that's like, I don't know, he drives it straight down the line where like Ashablois every gun pointed, which is obviously going to be a lot less efficient. More beacons here from Ashablois again. Very keen on retaining intelligence on VonAsten's movements. 2 thumbs up there to Ashablois. Panzer moving westwards. Swarming the eastern positions. Using the armored car to spot for the pack forward, help deal with the half-track. West something on the Panthers all in their Ash's western positions. Thumbs up to that. Pony's bouncing up the centre. After being pushed back. Pack out in the fire here. You see the Paratrooper hit pack forward in a bit of trouble. There are some coming. Oh, Telemine down. Very good. They baited it into it, actually. Nice work there by VonAsten. 2 thumbs up. Where's Mimo Corps just getting wiped out? It's going to be another win there for VonAsten. Panther winning form back here in the face of the anti-tank and then the anti-tank rifle grenades. Punch pushing forward. They could get a wipe there. Maybe should ever go bunker and the power finders. Ashablois not moving in time. And there we go. Full wipe. A decisive pummeling against the Americans. And these the route goals push back here. Asher got a bit too aggressive here. VonAsten had self-baits it up. Also exploited some weaknesses here and there in Ashablois unit management, causing significant losses for Asher and the 2nd Armored Division as the 17th SS propels itself forward on a whirlwind of blitzkrieg and sauerkraut. Armored car racing with the basic pattern for the ambulance, but in this case further over there, so can't quite go for it. But really strong push there, but VonAsten going for more pioneers up repaired tanks, very good. Troops reinforcing healing, definitely needs more tanks I think now. Ooh, almost got the major. And again, Osttruppen I think now would be definitely a safe choice with the Panzer front in the field. They of course could also just go for more Panzer IVs. Also, I think more Panzer gunners would also be a very good addition here for VonAsten, at least one more squad. Ollie's considered the officer, he's quite flexible tool. Smoke is provided, for example, boosting nearby infantry and armor, really good as well. VonAsten here going for tier 4 first. Never a big fan of tier 4. Particularly not with this sort of situation, been much more back and forth than you normally would like it to be. So I feel like VonAsten needs to stabilise just a bit more before trying for tier 4 here personally. Particularly with the small infantry complement. I feel like tier 4 might be a bit of a reach here by VonAsten. Bit of a reach. I obviously understand light machine guns, nice and handy dandy, except it's just not much worth in the Osttruppen. Nothing equal to the for VonAsten. Jackson with the for Ashablois up with armour. Push for the cup on there. Ashablois with cutthroat tactics, showing no mercy or weakness there to VonAsten, if it can be avoided, and just going straight for the jugular every single time. Thumbs up to Ashablois. Nice and aggressive play, bungling at the Paratroopers, pushing them back, but the car has been lost for now. Panzer 4 they're being fixed with the double pioneers, very good choice there. Machine gun right in the east. Ashablois really just keeping up good momentum here again versus VonAsten. VonAsten is still flooding a ton of munitions, and while that Telemine here obviously needs was great, there's I think an easy case to make that, you know, could have been laying down more mines while it still have all the map. So there you go, M36 action tanks right there for Ashablois and the 2nd Armored Division. Also moving up westwards.
A capture point is under attack.
Got the Osttruppen the rifle squad. Panzer moving up in the centre. Rifle squad on the east, Jackson force there. Armour calculator to go in there, go Panther from up, shoots, and did it hit his own men? No, it didn't. Briefly looked like it. Panther for the centre, there goes straight into a Paratrooper with double light machine guns. Quick retreat there by VonAsten, quick retreat. Weapon rack for Ashablois, very good there. BARs could do a lot of good, but of course also bazookas for the men to help deal with VonAsten's armour would also be a great investment. Guessing we've seen the Harry Pants call soon. Do have the Osttruppen equipped with the LMGs now. Last squad moving forward here for Ashablois. Osttruppen was the Paris on the west. In the east there we got to move on the eastern. Victory point once more, we got 333 versus 379. Victory point parity is pretty close between the two. Goes the Osttruppen. Hey, Pan squad there for VonAsten. We'll have to see what he goes for. I mean, fast Panther, I suppose, could be an option. Stump Panther, I think, could also be a nice idea here. Now, obviously, it's the Panther Vipers, but never a big fan of those, so I'd probably not go for that way. Personally. Although, if he goes for the artillery field officer, then there's certainly something to consider, because again they can actually just spam the rocket barrages, which is honestly the only reason why you go for a Panzer is got the officer and you just spam the ability, because that way you can actually do some serious work. But I feel like Panzerwerfers on their own just aren't worth it. With the officer they're alright, but without it I don't think Panzerwerfers most of the time are worth it. He does go immediately here for the Panzerwerfer. Let's go see what he goes then for. What? The officer then? If so, great. If not, yeah, then I'm not sold on it. Then I'm just not sold on it. Let me say Panzer Corps is done there. For VonAsten. Ready and everything. Got a decent point here. Panzer 4 being fixed up for VonAsten. We got another airdrop common group for Ashablois. Interesting here. Obviously means another pack cards are giving Ashablois more artillery. And of course another elite paratrooper squad. Captain taking losses, they may be moving up as well there. It's Panzerwerfer almost done there for VonAsten. Also on the west, out in the open, not great there. Laying down mines to the flank, thumbs up there to VonAsten. Pack 40 engaged the Jackson tank destroyer. Got the Panzerwerfer 42 up there for VonAsten. Fun fact there, Waffen is actually a specialized version of the Panzerwerfer which fired Katyusha rockets. Initially they used Katyusha rockets to capture from the enemy, but eventually they actually make their own. So, little fun fact there. VonAsten going for a third Osttruppen squad. Guessing he wants more infantry out and he's just willing to accept Osttruppen, but at this point in the game, they're typically not great in this. And that was a pretty decent Panzerwerfer barrage, but again, like, say he'd gone for an officer instead of this, it get much better, but also more crucially, he could call in more barrages from that same Panzerwerfer. So I feel like this is a, slightly missed opportunity here. This should have been this instead of that, but that again is just my personal opinion.
A capture point is under attack.
Punching forts here. Double pack out, definitely also danger there for the Panzergrenadier. Any infantry that VonAsten really has, to be honest.
Our supply line is cut. Germans are making a
Quick
push.
retreat there. Looks like VonAsten planning to maybe raid here Ashablois lines with the Panzer 4. Grenade off in the Osttruppen. Quick retreat there. Got the MD4 trooping hold fort of VonAsten. Panzerwerfer almost done. Paired with the fire tanks among the losses. S-mines being knocked out there. But good work laying down S-mines there, I think, by VonAsten. Thumbs up. Paired with 1440 through VonAsten's lines in the center, which are looking quite sporadic and a bit extended. Far south here, Pioneers routed. Telemine spotted. S-mine contact with the bazooka rear stuns. Pioneers are close being wiped out. Paratroop almost wiped retreating. Panzer's firing again. Might be around here on the support weapons to snuff them out. Got the Panzerwerfer crewing. Got the anti-tank gun. Very nice. 13 kills. That's into 1. Just reinforcing healing. Quick recruit though. It's in the middle of the mine. Takes a bit risky there. If the Panzer sets them off, that could cost Ashablois there a bit. Not a lot of action on the west side. I feel like VonAsten could try and hit the opponent's field there a bit more than he currently is. But that's one of the reasons we're able to get a Panzer 4 so much faster than Ashablois, so that field harassment. Meanwhile, Ashablois I think would benefit from starting considerable armor. Actually being held up, pack cars left behind. Probably going to get destroyed here by VonAsten, since obviously no point letting the opponent have that one back. Pack car destroyed, clearing out the tank as well there. Osttruppen Panzer finding up the infantry, need to get the Osttruppen some cover there. Pairs removed from the other side, artillery fire, they have some sort of bomb grenade actually, yep. Doing some heavy damage there to Ashablois forces. Large corpus retreating the Panzergrenadier. Still no more additional armor here for Ashablois, we got 264 versus 379. Awesome as the paratroopers. Light machines away for them. MD4 sitting up very, very, very close to VT2. Panzerwerfer unleashing hell. Yeah, that was not the best batch. Like, it killed one guy, but for that, you know, kind of like cooldown and everything else, that's like, you know, not optimal. Not optimal. But you can soon go for a Panther, which maybe get Ashablois a bit of a hard time. You could also go for the Sturmpanzer, which I think would also give Ashablois a hard time with the infantry support weapons primarily, though ejection would be an issue, but infantry and support weapons probably less so. I've been FonAsten could isolate the ejection train, so they would also think it's a good position there. Got to hit an ejection. Then before getting mentioned, one should pop into an RPS round to think with this counter attack going on there by maybe not with the pack out about. And FonAsten here commits to a second Panzerwerfer. Not sure I'm a fan of that one. Not sure I'm a fan of that one. Like, I feel like FonAsten doesn't have like enough armor to really legitimize that one. Plus, I mean, again, like, go for the artillery field officer. Like, again, you practically have like 2 Panzerwerfers, just 1 Panzerwerfer's price. You could, of course, still go for one, but I don't feel like priority here for FonAsten should be more armor right now, not more artillery. And then again, if he really desperately wants more artillery, you know, go for the officer. And, you know, for the budget price, just get yourself a second Panzerwerfer. They can also, you know, throw down smoke if you want to. Or call in more artillery with a heavy mortar barrage. So, like, you know, like the officer is just, you know, pretty great and overlooked, I think, as a unit. You got 252 with PM-47. Awesome, ride it. Panzer firing again here. Oh, that's not the first one. Yeah, that one's firing. Another whiff there by FonAsten. Another whiff barrage. Second one unleashing hell now. Now this is rockets. We'll have to see where that lands. Another kind, you know, whiff. Like, that's a lot of badges now. That really just haven't done a lot of damage for FonAsten.
A capture point is under attack.
Awesome, they're taking a lot of damage out in the open.
The enemy is overrunning.
Panzer Rango's Master there. Ooh, good hit on the unit there, but just a bit other stuff. We got Silly called in, the railroad to support here on the pack out. Holy smokes, that was a great hit. They just so many Americans dead. Oh, one squad, in fact, almost got wiped out. Like, if we assume these were all full strength, I mean, that's a lot of dead people. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe? I don't know. Like, a lot of dead Americans for sure. A lot of dead Americans. That was a hell of a hit there. Railroad support, less impressive. Arguably fits so fine with the rest of his artillery usage to a degree, except for the first 2 barracks and the Panzerwerfer. The rest of what was artillery seemingly just been a bit of a whiff. Brown Western Victor point, we got 244 with 39. Ashablois still floating a lot of fuel. I feel like Ashablois really should consider investing in more. In fact, I'm surprised neither side is really investing in like any larger number of tanks. I figured they'd go for that, but so far neither side has really invested much there. Investing either in artillery and other stuff. Another Panzer barrage shit, and once more complete whiff. Probably killed more squads than they killed Americans now with those rocket barrages. Awesome defend the center victory point. 26 kills on the Panzer IV. Great from the Jackson, the Panzer IV. Halfway to Vexing 3. Hitting a few remaining S mines. Push up for the Sunday. This could actually be a good Panzer barrage, I think, around here. Could be a good one. Fires again. We'll obviously this time actually hit something. Gets a few kills. Clears out the anti-tanker, but at the same time nothing huge. Still, you know, anti-tank being cleared out is a win there for FonAsten, though critical crude here by Ashablois paratroopers. Bit of an expensive one, since the paratroopers do have a higher reinforcement cost, so, you know, bit worth keeping in mind there. But obviously, I imagine much more worth for Ashablois to actually pay that price rather than risk losing the anti-tank gun to the Germans, or even risk them stealing it. Going for some fuel point, good weather for VonAsten. Still no sign of armour from him or for Ashablois. Again, except for that one Panzer he has, and Ashablois got a tank destroyed, but no tanks at all. Oh, got a Panzerwerfer. And VonAsten immediately replaced the Panzerwerfer. Not a big fan of that force composition. Not a big fan of it. Definitely feel like this is a flawed one there by VonAsten. Personally, at least, it's not one I like. Might be a better way to put it. And certainly not one I can advise. Like, he's just relying too much on the Panzerwerfers. In particular, a bit too much when, for the most part, they're just really whiffing a lot. I don't feel like they've really paid themselves off with the current rate there. I feel like you'd better off like some, armor, either some Panzer IVs more, Storm Panzer, something like Ryan, just churning out Panzerwerfers. And he really should at least get out an officer as well to, like, get more out of them. Awesome right over the paratroopers. Ground Eastern Point. Panther unleashing hell, or at least attempting to unleash hell. Another barrage that really ended up doing nothing. I mean, it did some light damage, but it killed no one. It killed absolutely no one. Panther looking to raid the base, go for the ambulance, but in this case, actually, a bit too quick there on the fingers to allow that to happen. Jackson going for the Panther 4. Oh, Panther burst off there. Panther for firing. Two kills as well, but again, nothing huge there. Artillery called in. Pioneers being murdered out. Augsburg routed.
They're at 200 points.
Grenade on the Osttruppen. Panzer the close being fixed up.
We're losing a capture
Ground center with a Panzer Grenadier. Slow counter back up the armor cutting bit from there for Ashablois force in the center. Asher really needs to start calling in like some sort of armor, flowing so much fuel here. We got 194 to 281. Of course, VonAsten also really needs to consider hauling in some armor here, because the Panzerwerfers are so far not really bringing VonAsten remotely close to like any kind of victory. Increasingly, I feel like armor car finally gets knocked out. That sucks for VonAsten. That sucks. I think you should shoot those Panzer fighting in a pretty bad spot there. Yep, full wipe. Then VonAsten's Pets goes down to just 2 Osttruppen, for the Osttruppen squad that is. Not great there either, particularly the late game. You do not want to rely on Osttruppen too much, because again, they are not good late game infantry. Panzer barrage going off in the base. Clear the anti-tank, but it can quickly recruit here by Ashablois anyways. But he's did some killing there. Didn't even destroy it though. Paratroopers coming hit their machine gun all the way there for VonAsten and a launcher plate for what? And then again, Ash is still filling resources. We'll have to see what Ash ends up going for. Going for less than point, pushing back the Americans there, running off course of one of VonAsten's machine guns. Panzer IV close to the ace level. Paratroopers in the center, Ralph's got to push back the Osttruppen. In the west point, we got 194 to 167. And Ash is finally beginning to call in more armor. Briefly consider the Jackson, but this is going from the M43 Sherman. I think that's a nice pick there. Panzer close to the ace level. Depends for the halfway to actually flee. Sherman almost done there for Ashablois. They will, I think, need more tanks than just one here versus VonAsten. Of course, VonAsten really should start investing in some tanks. Got the infantry east of them, the eastern flank here, holding back the assaults of Ashablois. The tide of democracy, but even this time, got Osttruppen rough squad pushed back there though. Still not really doing a lot there for VonAsten. Like, only the first one's really had like any serious success in that doing a lot for me. On the other two, just had very negative impact there on Ashablois. So I found it. They've been invested so many resources into them. So many resources have been chucked into them by now. Finally got some kills in there. Got a pack cards cleared out. Finally got another tank there for VonAsten. Another Panther 4. Thumbs up there. I have to say, rather like here. Actually, of course, we'll probably need to call in more Sherman to have a good chance versus VonAsten. A lot more Shermans, in fact, or a bunch of Jacksons. We'll have to see. Panther forming in there, very close to the east level. Very close. Panther 4 there, number 2 halfway done. Package reinforcing healing. Panther there hanging back. Chili called in here. Very low to leave out VonAsten once more. Oh dear, Ashablois not moving in time. Oh dear, bit of no side here. Oh! MG42 and Paradigm Squad eviscerated. Now that was a hell of a strike. That was definitely worth 200 munitions there for VonAsten. That was definitely worth it. Second Panther ready. Going for the same victory from the paratroopers. Panther firing away. On the east side of the eastern victory point, further cast being deflected. Almost getting swipes on Ashablois again, but not quite enough. Panther moving ahead here. Backed up with the other Panther 4. Jackson there eventually 2. Panther 4 getting the east level. Hard to say what Ashablois planning versus VonAsten. Hard to say. We got 151 to 166. Grabbing the western centre victory point with the Osttruppen. Captain east with a flamethrower pillar from the Dead Pioneer. Running up against the Panther 4. Situation's starting to look a bit rough here. First, you'd like to start to take some heavier losses. Again, that Red Artillery strike really proved to be a huge win there for VonAsten. Grenade against all the Osttruppen. Didn't hit though. Artillery strike called in there by I think the unarmed Pathfinders. Actually, not, that's the Major. Another MG42 there for VonAsten. Not seeing more armor. That's for Ashablois. Just reinforcing troops. Could of course consider another Sherman. Should consider another Sherman. We got the Osttruppen as the Sherman. Ooh, misses. Panther fast meanwhile does not miss. Western point secured. Major Ralph squad moving up. Jackson moving ahead there as well. East side we get the punishment of the Panther Force from reserve. Another MG42 almost done there for VonAsten. The St. Bart's got quick back. Major moving up there.
Capture point is being overrun.
Pack out to firing away. Troops reinforcing this at the base there. Grenade off. Nasty bit of damage there. Another unit down here. Bit expensive there for Ashablois at this point. Panther 4 on the east half 8 of MG1. East Panther 4 37 kills. And there you go. Panther Bash firing a pretty close range going for the weapon thing in the paratroopers. No firing into the base. Somebody getting lucky. What a missed opportunity there being for VonAsten. Ace Panther really pushed back with the Jackson and the anti-tank gun there. A lot of back and forth. A lot of brutal hand-to-hand combat almost here between the two sides. No greater maneuvers here. And we got railway to the support again by VonAsten on the centre victory point. We got 138 versus 228. Just moving up the halfway to the ace level. Going straight for the Ace Panther 4. Great hit there, pushing down to half health. I could soon go for another Sherman. It's got so much fuel though, and it hasn't just been using it. But there you go, can go for the Sherman now. Prepared to retreat it. Routed. Need to score the western part here, and there you go, another Shem for Ashablois.
We're losing a capture point.
Freedom and democracy. Showing up the Osttruppen here. East side, there we got the Panther Force being fixed up here by Finasten's remaining pioneers. Showing the fire from the anti-tank. That's a safety got Osttruppen towards the center, from the center towards the western victory point here. Osttruppen then blasted into the dirt here with the Sherman. Casualties are piling up on both sides. And either side, really at this stage, could, like, you know, still win this. I feel like in some ways it's actually slightly more favoured due to having more infantry and instead of, I would say, high quality infantry. Armor-wise, it's kind of close. If Finasten had better luck with the Panzerwerfers, at least, you know, better aiming with it, I think Finasten would be more favoured. But considering how most of the time the Panzerwerfers so far have been just whiffing spectacularly, I feel like the match is slightly favoured towards Ashablois, but not too much, though. More Shermans on the field plus the Jackson, it might be slightly more favoured again. That said, Asher, I think, would still benefit from getting out a lot more tanks here versus Finasten. Paired was the Osttruppen. East Panzer 4 what's fixed up here. Another Panzerwerfer barrage here by Finasten. Against the paratroopers in the west. Most of the rockets, as you might notice, don't really do a lot. Sherman taking hits from the Panzer 4. Shot fired back, missed. Good on the Panzer 4. Anti-tank there cleared out.
We lost an anti-tank gun.
Another Pack 40 there on the way. Ralph's got the victory point again. Asher might be setting up for third Panzer on Sherman, and in that regard, free Sherman fed up with Jackson. If properly set up, they could actually be quite devastating for Finasten. But again, if Finasten sort of predicts this maneuver, says that sufficient counter, could also create a fall apart. There you go. Ashablois there with a third Sherman on the way. The infantry is slightly still favored for Ashablois. Panzerwerfers just aren't still not quite carrying the weight here, I feel like, for Finasten. At least this one is slightly starting to get there very slowly, but it's sort of getting there.
Armor here.
Panzerwerfers, Panzer 4 moving ahead here. Paratroopers was the Osttruppen. Good from the Jackson and Panzer 4. We got 124 versus 207. But the lack, I think, of proper infantry finesse and combined with the absolute flag of a proper armor superiority, I think leaves, again, there's a good chance of the Ashablois with the tanks and the infantry might just be able to swing back hard here at Finasten, because right now Ashablois got like one more tank than Finasten plus the tank destroyer, which means there's only good element there of gunning. Of course, there's still the Pack 40s, but if they get like outmaneuvered, cleared out, or smoked, I mean, they may not be quite as helpful there for Finasten then. And certainly with the Panzer 4 isolated from them due to the terrain of the ruined farm buildings, there's a good chance of the proper attack here by Ashablois. Could like maybe do some heavy damage there. Go pushing up there, Jackson pulling up his roll. Further exploring here, gaps in Finasten's line again due to lack of infantry. Panzer 4's exposed infantry going for the anti-tank guns. Shems keeps pouring ahead here. One is half health, but again allows the others to move ahead there. Panzer 4 down to half health. Jackson moving up as well here. We got cluster bombs holding there on the support weapons in the centre. Panzer barrels go down on them. That's what's happening there. And there you go with this. Pack 40 is cleared out. Panzer 4 down this. Finasten is cracked open like an egg by Ashablois. And there you go, GG, game over. Really great final push here by Ashablois. Really exploring here the issues and deficiencies in Finasten's force composition to lead to a glorious victory. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I'll learn something from it. If you subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, don't challenge me. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.